Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show on Chelsea Perspective this particular morning. Today it is still the Blue Morning Show, but we'll address some news items and then we will follow the managers, dissect and analyze comments from the managers' press conference. More importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. We're also looking to whether Christopher Nkunku and Romeo Lavia will make their respective debuts for Chelsea Football Club, but we'll find out. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, welcome back once again. I appreciate you all finding the time to join. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see what we have in the chat already. The tradition here is to first of all say hello to people who are in the house waiting for the show to start. And I have my bro, Constantin Dante. Always nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Much love to you. You putting in double shifts these days. You are also on Mitch's stream and also this one. I admire your what should I say, your work your work rate, or maybe big up the heats the gist heats and everything you want to be. He doesn't know ball. Big up to you, Mitch Chelsea, Mitch boy. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show today. I hope you're doing well. And please, if you haven't, we don't have so much. Maybe I'll leave that for later until more people joins. So go check out Mitchie Boy's YouTube channel and subscribe. Yeah, Michi is going double these days and saying hello to Dante. Let's see, Jay. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. I hope you're doing well. That means a lot to me. Did you join via Twitter? That might have been the case because usually you don't see comments from Twitter, but I'll check that later. I don't want that on the screen to be showing right now. Let's see what else we have here. Those Shuffy players eyes look weird, very creepy. That's because it's AI generated, so probably deformed to some to a certain extent. And I didn't see that before. I decided to use the image. At one point, I zoomed. You can say I zoomed it out so much that you couldn't see their heads. So I decided to show their heads without paying attention that their eyes are a bit deformed. But that's why the way we move on. I have N'Golo Kante walk rate. Yeah, that may well be the case. But that's by the way. That's the people. We're going to talk about address a few news items, include we'll talk about Lewis Hall's contract. I'm confused now, given what I'm seeing, and then we'll talk about some items I can't quite recall. We have them lined up here, but let's get into them without wasting much of your time. Let's go. The first one here. This got me confused. We were told that Lewis Hall joined Newcastle United with a mandatory option to for it to be a permanent deal at the end of the season. But this got me confused. Eddie Howe says he cannot confirm whether Lewis Hall would sign for Newcastle permanently at the end of the season. There are still certain criteria to hit to the trigger the obligation to buy. The obligation to buy in loan deal from Chelsea Football Club. Okay, now I think maybe the language is clearer right now than what we read. The report we read when he joined Newcastle United, but I'm still not sure what to make of it. So if he's still our player, and then woohoo! If he can play, he's shown that he can play in the left back position effectively. Progresses the ball very well. Has good vision, good passing range. If he comes back, I'd take him. But let's see what happens. So the main point here is that even though there's a mandatory option to buy, he has to. Let's see whether Lewis Hall will sign for Newcastle permanently at the end of the season. So this part that says that there are still certain criteria to hit to trigger the obligation to buy. obligation to buy clause in loan deal from Chelsea. So, which means this sounds to me as if he's been a bit reluctant. Maybe they're not seeing the player they thought they signed. So if he's going to come back to us, I'll take him. He's a fine player, like I said. I don't mind. So yeah, let's see. But in all honesty, I want to hear you. You tell me what you make of Eddie Howe's comment. To me, it just sounds as if he's not too sure about the player. Yeah, maybe they've decided they are covered in that area and probably would rather spend their money on something in certain departments where they need more players because they've been a bit cautious. The reason why we agreed to that deal at the time, we were told that we were just being fair to them, trying to help them not to you can say not to cause them to get into trouble with FFP. So we decided to do the business with them that way. But that's, by the way, we'll move on to the next item we have lined up. But I want to hear what you have to say with regards to that particular report right now. Yeah, so why not say their correct? Yeah, simple, just simplify it, say criteria. So it just doesn't make sense in my opinion. But we'll move on to that one. And the next item here, he cannot play left back. He cannot play left back as left wing back. Yes, but not in a back four. He's actually traditionally a midfielder. So I'm a bit confused. But I think at the time, actually, I thought he was going to play a lot more on the ground ported. That's because the midfielders we had at the time were all struggling. And whenever he got the chance to play, he did more than the so-called experienced players at the time. So just not too sure why Graham Potter didn't play him that much. But hopefully he comes back to us. Just PW up up the Blades. Oh, you're supporting another club. I don't know what club calls the Blades. And the Blades, that's Sheffield. Okay, we'll see. We'll find out who wins tomorrow. Who's the Blades? Nottingham Forest. If you look at their crest, badge, or whatever you want to call it, or logo, it has two swords there. So it makes sense now. Let's see. We're Sheffield United. We'll find out. And Josh, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Let's have a conversation with you. And if you want to come onto the panel, hit me up via Twitter and I'll send you a link. It'd be interesting to hear from the perspective of a Sheffield United fan. Poch would never play him. Don't come back, Hall. Plus, the money is good for us. Here's the thing, but as you can see there, they have to meet a certain criteria before that happens. Yeah. I don't know if you paid attention when we read that, which means I think that probably most likely will be with regards to how many games he ends up playing for Newcastle United. That's what I think will be the case. But let's see what happens. He's a fine player. There's more. I think Potter didn't really give him a good chance to express himself. Used to be Wesley Snipes, but I heard that they are remaking it. Yeah, I remember the Blades the Vampire movie. So it makes sense. I like that twist there. But more importantly, Glenn, nice to see you, brother. Glenn 10, I hope you're doing well. Much love to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. Big up to you too, brother. Wow, lots of nonsense on here. Wow, you're saying that? Okay, and I just read it for you. Just stay. Let's hear you. Chelsea, we need the shop strike on the shop striker, you mean Douglas and Dumbo, on in January. Chances I would sign the striker in January, but I do not know whether that will happen. But let's find out. Big up, Glenn. Just people saying hello to you. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, I think he's here just to do some nonsense. And Trevor Carefree, European pedigree, joined. Trevor, welcome. Express yourself. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us this particular morning. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? These are Arab Blade and slug it out with him. I'm not going to be reading more of his comments. Why am I seeing a lot of people joining and they have a Twitter icon? Did you guys, Romeo, let me ask you, did you join us from Twitter? I want to know because I've seen I've seen three people, yep, saying they joined from Twitter. I'm not sure how that's possible because Twitter, we normally don't see comments from Twitter on here. But that's, by the way, let's see what else we have here. You just need to low block and counter us, and that should do it. Tell them, let them try that. Let's see if it works. I think we're winning that one. I haven't for a long while I confidently said that Chelsea will win again, but I think we're winning this one. And the next item we'll have here, Kendra Pies, the Ecuadorian youngster, 16. Is he still 16 or has he turned 17? I just don't know. Kendra Pies will be in attendance at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea's Premier League clash against Sheffield United on a Sunday. And we've been told that he would train for Chelsea with Chelsea first team for a while, then return to his club. I think that they is it off season for them right now? I think I'm not too sure. I'm not well acquainted with the Ecuadorian league. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that one. I want to see him, but we can't. We just see him on the stands, and if we're lucky, we get to see him train with the senior team. But I've seen enough of him to know that he's an excellent player, and hopefully, he gets integrated in 2 years' time. When he turns 18, that's when he joins the first team. I cannot see that Romeo comment. So maybe it's coming from maybe a platform. I'm not sure what's going on with StreamYard. Have a nice stream. Thank you so much, Dennis. Nice to see you. I'm gonna see fans. Please do not offer Kendry any alcohol beverage. He cannot drink yet. Yep, he's still a baby. As Roger would say, he's still what's the term he uses? A fetus. But that's by the way, we move on from that. Just quickly, I want to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you, and that's because you watching alone does provide great value to the community. So we want to say thank you, but at the same time, I want to ask you to please do us a favor, a tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second to drop a like on the stream for us. And that's because the more likes we garner, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the stream will be pushed to more people who'll be interested in the topics we'll have lined up today. So let's move on to the next item we'll have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. There's no age limit in Ecuador, so he's used to it. You sure, really? Wow. Are you sure, really? Denise, I'm using StreamYard. Why do you ask? Do you own your own channel? If you own a channel, especially if you're a Chelsea content creator, you let us know. We're selfless here. That's why we're growing as quickly as we are. We'll help each other grow because we support the same club. But that's, by the way, let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. But we have just 13 likes, and we're 20 minutes into the show. We should certainly be doing better than 13 likes right now. Let's move on to the next item, people. Right, Jose Mourinho picked his all-time 11, and it has a lot of Chelsea players in it. Even though only one Inter Milan player, Zanetti. I've heard the story of how he had a good relationship with him. Wow, how many Chelsea players right there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Chelsea players. And in all honesty, if you ask me, I didn't know. I tell you that he will never pick Eden Hazard. That's because he complained about Eden Hazard's work rate at the time, how he doesn't do much to contribute defensively. So he has between the sticks of Peter Cech, 2 centre backs, Carvalho and Terry, right back Zanetti, Italian legend plus Inter Milan legend, left back Gallas. I didn't know he'd pick Gallas too. See, 6 there is Claudio Makalele, Lampard, and Ozil. Then he has Hazard, left wing, right wing, Ronaldo, and number 9, Jobber. Not too many surprises there, but I didn't know he will pick Gallas actually over Ashley Cole. I didn't know he would pick Hazard also. But we're moving from that to the next item. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And Denise, I'm sure you paid attention to that. I've told you I use StreamYard. It's a good application, and I think you should try it. It's browser based. You don't need to install anything, and they've added so much so many new features to it. It's become even more even better than it was a year ago or so, a few months ago actually. Like now you can see you can use a video background, not just a static background. But that's, by the way, we're moving from that. Gallus over Ashley Cole. That's his choice. Uh, I think Gallus probably has how do I say it? He has okay. Now I'm seeing he has that Gallus has that, you can say, the sort of grit. You can say Ashley Cole does have grit too. He had grit at the time when he was still playing. Um, What's the difference? Maybe more powerful than Ashley Cole, or maybe a better defender than Ashley Cole. But offensively, you can argue Ashley Cole, for me, will be more effective than William Gallas, in my opinion. But that's just me. I'm not going to dwell on that. I don't know about Ozil either. Ozil, if you know him well enough, I think he's the one with the creative, you could say, the creative spark right there. I can't talk this morning. Maybe the the power drinking thing happened. I'd rather maybe a coffee would have been better off. But that's, by the way, we'll move on. Ozil, you can say he's a creative outlet there. He's a better creator than Hazard in terms of creating chances. Hazard is more of a dazzler, and the one capable of pulling the rabbit out of the hat to help the team win the game. So I say Ozil there makes sense for me, and he was brilliant for Mourinho's Madrid at the time. But that's, by the way, we move on from there. Let's see. Ashley Cole, best left back, way better than Gallas offensively, but defensively, I'd say Gallas is better than him, in my opinion. Gallas moved to centre back as well. Yep. At Tottenham, I think when he played for Tottenham, correct me if I'm wrong, he played centrally and not as a left back. I can't quite recall. And didn't he play for Arsenal too? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't quite remember too. But we move on to the next item we have lined up here. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. News item. We will start the match review and preview, and we'll also get into the lineup prediction as soon as possible. And once we start getting comments from the managers presser, we will look at them and dissect and analyze what we think will they mean, and see if we get glimpse of who starts and who's not going to start tomorrow. But that's, by the way, usually we'll start by participating in the poll, which asks the question, who will win? I'd go with Chelsea Football Club. 69% thinks Chelsea will win this one. 14% thinks he ends in the draw, and 16% thinks Sheffield United will win. So we'll look at all that. Now we get into the nitty gritty, as somebody would say, where we'll look at the numbers and you can say get us a good idea of which of the two teams will come out on top tomorrow. But that's not doesn't guarantee that will be the outcome. But it gives you a good idea because it is a statistics. It gives you a good idea which of the two teams will most likely win, not certainly win. Because stats suggest the outcome, but you cannot script football. It's that simple. I just got 1 minute worth of ads. I missed all of that. I think the stats these days are more automated than I'm not the one that inserts them. I could start doing that, or maybe as I'm speaking, if I see that in a few seconds an ad will come on, I'll just click to skip it. But usually I don't skip ads except for doing members only, which we're going to start soon. I'm just trying to find someone who can help me and do that. You can say constantly, for lack of a better language, or maybe let me just go with that. All right, let's see if there's anything else we'll have to look at here before we move on to the match preview proper. Let's see. I'm saying me as a host can actually get the ad not to show, but I have to see it as it started getting ready to show. But sorry about that. If it's too many, I'll try to find a solution. It says Australia may be different. I think it's the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. I just don't know how it works from the viewer's end. So let's go. And FODMAP, they are predicting that Chelsea will go with a 4-2-3-1 structure, and they're predicting that Colwell will play in the left back position, and they're predicting that the Sassi will play in the right back position. That may, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Petrovic certainly starts between the sticks, but we would do our unpredicted lineup, and they think yeah, they think Jackson starts still. But let's look at injury for injury and suspension for both teams. For Chelsea, we know the story of Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah. We know his own story too. This says he will return in late December. Romeo Lavia doubtful. That's a good sign, which means chances are he'd make his debut tomorrow. Doubtful is a good sign in my opinion. Reece James late of February. Sorry about that. 2024. Give me a second here. Reece James late February 2024. Nani Madueke doubtful. That's a good sign still. Marcus Martinelli return date unknown. I'm not sure what has happened to him. What sort of injury is he does he have? He's been out for like 6-7 months right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Malo Gusso doubtful. That's a good sign. I think he starts this one. I'm not sure. If he doesn't start, then that will raise some questions. Leslie Ugochukwu doubtful. That's a good sign. Christopher Nkunku doubtful. That's a good sign. Connie Chukwemeka doubtful. That's a good sign. And Ben Chilwell doubtful. That's a good sign. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. 9 important players return. That's when I start judging Mauricio Pochettino. I don't care. We can do without Rich James for a while, but once we have Nkunku, Lavia back, Kandi Chukwemeka back, I'd start judging him. If he cannot figure out how to win with all the talents we have, then yeah, he's not the right man for the job. But right now, I still back him. I still think he's the right man for the job. And one of the main reasons why I haven't actually judged him that much is because you can say we've had too many players out injured. Some of those players are very important players also. But we move on from that. Let's see what else we have. Here in Constantine Dante is saying, nah, coach, it's all good. I don't need solutions. We need to stop playing two DMs. Yep, I think it makes sense. One can suffice. But here's the thing: the approach matters. If we pay attention to the approach, we're playing two sixes, but the application, one sits while the other has the independence to be wherever he deems fit on the fit, a hybrid of 8 and 6. So it's just the structure. I don't pay too much attention to the structure. I pay more attention to the application. And for the application, Enzo doesn't sit. Enzo just you can say he because he has the independence to be wherever he deems fit on the pitch. I think his main job is to provide a passing lane for Casado whenever he has the ball. And that's why you often see him in the central area. But I wouldn't say go to the extent of saying we're playing with two sixes. We're playing with just one, and the second six playing as operating as a hybrid of 8 and 6, which makes sense. That's very common in football right now. Big up to you, Vic. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Thank you so much. And Constantine Dante here says, I have noticed the gap from midfield to forwards. It's too big. It's a reason why we mostly pass sideways and backwards. Yeah, because we don't make you can say we don't make decisive runs. We don't open up. We don't create more passing lanes of individual with the ball. If anything, we make it difficult for them. So that's why we see our players dwelling so much on dwelling unnecessarily on the ball, and sometimes can't find you can say penetrating lanes to pass the ball, so they go sideways or backwards. That's why I said Enzo. I think Kovacic did that job very well for Jorginho and Kante whenever he played alongside either of the two players that I just mentioned. But right now, I think we're still struggling. You can say lack of chemistry is the issue, and rightly so. During an interview, Casado says he's learning how to be, you can say, be a better, how to complement his pairing in Enzo Fernandez, and he believes Fernandez is doing the same, and vice versa. I think the more you can say they play together, the more aligned they will be in terms of wavelength, and I think they'll become better. Right now, it just seems that whenever an individual has the ball, they don't find who to pass the ball to, and that's lack of that's down to our players not making decisive runs and creating more passing lanes for the individual with the ball. It's Ziyech is let's Ziyech Okay, back in January, these are experienced players. Chelsea, not only young players. Here's the thing: do I think Ziyech will still play for Chelsea Football Club? I'd say no. But we'll find out what happens. The club literally pushed him out, and that's because, yeah, he didn't. I don't. I just don't want to get into that. Really, I think his case is a bit complicated. I'm not sure what happens if is it he played if the club ends up not buying him, what Chelsea would do with him, I'm not too sure about that. And nice to see you, Jerry Z. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Morning to you, to my assistant, Santiago Munoz. Nice to see you, brother. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? Yeah, big up everyone. Let's see. And Desmond Muratai saying big up. I am asking why should CFC look for proper number 9? Yet we've also a lot of them, e.g. Lukaku, Broya, Jackson, etc. They should work on the injury prone players. Okay. That are taking too long to be healed. Here's the question I want to ask you: how well has Jackson done for us, and how well has Broya done for us? Even Lukaku, who's vowed not to play for Chelsea again. So I don't think those will be. I don't think Broya will be enough. He's shown, in my opinion, he's not ready. He started over Jackson, and after watching that game a second time, I was going, wow. It's clear that would be better off with Jackson on the pitch than Amanda Broya. But that's just my opinion. Let me know if you think otherwise. Gallagher in that 10 round doesn't get open to link up play between lines. He drops back as well, and then we just pass sideways and back between the 3 midfielders in the DM role. So basically 3 DM rows. Yeah, because the way Gallagher he applies himself, probably down to how the manager wants him to apply himself, mainly following the ball to put in tackles to help us win the ball back. That's why basically when he starts in that number 10 role, you can argue his role, not him, I'm not saying him, his role is useless. It doesn't, you can say you need more from a 10. You need your 10 to be able to create I get it. Gallagher probably. I will look at our stats in a bit. I think he's one of our top creators in terms of how many chances created in total. But we need a 10 that can create nearly 3 times as much, because the more chances you create, the more the opportunity you have to score goes. If that makes sense. 16 likes, people. We should be doing better than that. So please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. And we have DJ Sav in the house. DJ, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says, pick up coach and the chat. Coachella, is safe to view my comments. Got blasted last time by you. No, I wasn't. We were having a chat. You know how we operate here. Yeah, everybody's opinion matters. You know that. So I was just responding to your opinion, not blasting your opinion. But I know, it's all love, brother. That's what we do here. If we all agree, then we don't have a show. Yep. What we do is you present your opinion, and if I have a counter opinion, I present it to. And what that does is that it helps us. You can say dissect and analyze reports out there, dissect and analyze. You can say our reasoning, and then come to a sensible conclusion. So that's not me saying you're full of doo-doo, and I respect you so much because you're my bro. But much love to you, DJ. By the way, I appreciate you. Yes, so let's go. What else do we have here? So Lukaku, Broya, and Jackson are proper 9s. Jackson isn't proper 9, actually. Let's be honest there. Lukaku is more of a traditional 9. Even Broya isn't actually a traditional 9. Maybe I don't know him well enough yet. Lukaku is, Jackson isn't. Jackson is more of a second striker than he is a number 9. But you know fully well, I read what I saw there and had to respond to it. But let's just call them number nines. Maybe not proper, or not a category. We shouldn't categorize all of them as proper number nines, if that makes sense. Yep, DJ. More importantly, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding time to join. Lukaku isn't injury prone. He is interview prone. Yeah, I like that one. I, I really do like that one. So there you go. One for you, Glenn. I appreciate. Yeah, that's a nice one. A very good, you can say, definition of Lukaku. That one there carries it. 18 likes, people. We should be doing better than that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. A big up, just people just saying hello there. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I could chill out. I'm joking, bro. It's all love. I know. But here's the thing. DJ was seriously frustrated on that particular day. I think it was the day after our loss to Everton. Oh my goodness. DJ was pissed. He was not the happy camper on the day. You should listen to what he had to say on the day. To him, I'm not gonna go into details, but he wasn't happy. I know you understand what I'm saying there. But let's move on. And Douglas and Number saying, Chelsea, we don't have players and experienced players. Okay, you think so? Hi to you too, Lamin Bass. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. We need a creative midfielder, a real number 9. A real number 10 playmaker, traditional number 10. That's the language I like to use when we talk about that. Here's the thing: when we signed Enzo, a lot of people, after a few games, thinks he's that guy. And here's my argument on Twitter now. You can say on X, or formerly Twitter. I told them we need a traditional number 9. We need somebody who will produce double digits in terms of assists by the time the season ends. And people were arguing that Enzo was the guy. That Enzo is the guy. And at the time I told them, I'm not saying Enzo is a bad player. Enzo, simply defined, is a deep line midfielder. Enzo, you get more from Enzo if you give him the independence, if you allow him, if he's allowed the independence to be wherever he deems fit on the pitch, because the more Enzo sees the pitch, the more effective it be. But if you place Enzo closer to the final third, then he sees less of the pitch. Then yeah, he won't be as effective as he can be if he operates from a deeper position. But people didn't understand that. But now I think a lot of people are realizing we need a traditional 10. As much as I know, yep, Paul Palmer can play in that 10 role. Connie Chukwemeka can also play in the number 10 role. But they're not traditional 10s, in my opinion. And we need a more traditional 10 to I think it will make a huge difference. But a lot of people don't understand that. But we move on. But thank you for bringing that up right now. CFC are lacking goals in leadership. Leadership, I agree. We lack character. We lack a leadership. For lack of, you can say you can name it whatever you want. We lack experience also. And kids will always be kids. And because we have a lot of kids, we'll always see disjointed performances here and there, mix up in the midfield area or in the defensive area that will lead to us conceding unnecessary goals. Sometimes you see a lack of game management from the team. Yeah, it will take time before we get to that level. But that can change if the owners realize, that we do need to mix it up with more experience to have a balance, a good balance, and then maybe they sign experienced players. But if they don't sign experienced players, this crop of players will still come good, but it will take time, and it will be a heck of a roller coaster. That's because they will never be consistent due to the lack of experience. They win today, lose tomorrow. It will be here and there for a while before they start playing as a unit. Now we don't have a team. We have a team of we have you can say of individual players, all excellent. They're all good talent, but they're not playing as a unit yet, and that's a huge problem. So let's see what else we have here. This says injury update. The club can confirm that Kukurea, James, and Sanchez are set for spells on the sidelines following medical results this week. Wow. You get one player back, then 5 players will get injured. That's concerning, really. I'm not sure. Like Bobby said at one point, maybe it's juju, really. Do we need to call the Pope or an Imam to come pray for us? Maybe we need to do that because it's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous, really. It's become redonkulous, in my opinion. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. I was blessed. I was blasting our owners on Poch. That's why. Yeah, DJ came in swinging left and right and was blasting the owners and Pochettino also. DJ wasn't, just let me just leave it at DJ wasn't a happy camper on the day. No, here's the thing. You have every right to critique the manager, the owners. That's why we're here. And then if I listen to what you have to say, then I'll let you know my opinion, or I'll probably present my counter opinion or counter argument. That's why we'll learn. We're here to dissect and analyze the situations and come to a sensible conclusion. No Cuckoo either. That means more Levi left back. Yep. And yeah, and it's concerning, really. I don't know what's going on to us. I don't know whether some of the injuries are down to the Mauricio Pochettino's training regimes. I'm not too sure what to make of it. Official Romeo, Lavia, Gusto, Christopher Nkunku all returned to full training, and we made and both Nkunku and Lavia both could make of their debut tomorrow. But we'll find out. I want them both to be back, and I'm going to say this again. I know I've said it 1,000 times. That's when I'll start judging Mauricio Pochettino. Maybe I'll wait for Nkunku to come back, Kukurea to come back too, because he's proven to be an important player for us. He's versatile, and also for me on his stay again. If he turns up, yeah, the party will be really groovy. That's how I see it. Please, we need to have a number 9. Let's see. It's up to the club. Let's see what they do in January. Vic, yep. Todd Nkunku and Lavia will be left out for the Newcastle match on Thursday. If we want them to play against Newcastle United, they need a few minutes tomorrow. Yep, they need to play even, let's say, at least 30 minutes each to be fully ready to play against Newcastle United. Even if they both get, let's say, 30 minutes each tomorrow, that will not be enough for them to be ready to play full 90 minutes against Newcastle United. But we'll find out how the manager wants to manage them. But here's where I'm not too sure what he wants to do. That's because Nkunku for a while now has trained with the team, even Lavia too. Let's see what the manager does. Let's just leave it at that. Vic, okay, just having a conversation there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And if you're still watching, I want to ask you this question: how much of an impact do you think Nkunku will make? And Lavia, let's hear you. It'd be interesting to see what you have to see there. Big game for Petrovic. Yep, now he has a chance to start and be the goalkeeper between the sticks for us for 90 minutes. And from what I know, I think he's an excellent goalkeeper. But he was quite unlucky. He had to make his debut on a day, you say, off the bench, and usually, it wasn't his fault that he considered that goal. Probably, I don't know. He didn't expect to come on, in my opinion. But even if he, again, if he makes a mistake or two against Sheffield United, I think he'd still keep his place. We can't do otherwise. That's because if you remember, it took Sanchez a few games to regain form. And the rest of the story. The fact that he hadn't played for Brighton for a while before we signed him and all that. But that's right away. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. And Glenn saying Nkunku and Lavia gracing this team will be like a flipping your pillow on a hot night. Fresh. Cannot wait. I think I agree with you. Both are excellent players. And I'm going to say this. I think I've talked about it before. Lavia is the better equipped, is the most, you can say, the most equipped player to execute that sitting 6 role for us for 2 reasons. He's a better dribbler than Casado. He's better at beating the press than Casado also. And I think he reads the game better than Casado. He's more of a DM than Casado is. Casado, for me, is more of a box-to-box midfielder or an 8 than he is a 6. But again, that's just my opinion. But I think I'm quite sure that's the case. And I think if Lavia comes back and if the manager wants to accommodate the 3 of them, then we'd have to go with a 4-3-3 structure where Lavia will play centrally. as a DM, flanked by Enzo Fernandez on the left and Moises Caicedo on the right. That would be a sexy midfield, and believe me, I think that would be one of the strongest in the Premier League, in my opinion. Let's see. Just having a conversation with Glenn there. Will be interesting to see if Poch is going to instruct to play from the back at so Petrovic 100% a pass. 100 passes, no pressure kid, even though okay, you're not a passer. Here's the thing. I've actually somebody at one time during the show have told us that Petrovic was bought up because of his ability on the ball. Yep, I'm not sure. I don't know him that well to argue to say maybe I believe that's the case. But somebody again has told us that he's excellent on the ball, and that was the reason why the club bought him. That he's even better than Sanchez on the ball. But we'll find out. But what I know for sure is that he's an excellent shot stopper. I'm not too sure in terms of his ability on ball playing ability. These kids are too soft with the constant injuries. No difference between them and the youth academy. I mean, I'm not sure what to make of this particular comment right here, but you could argue that's the case to a certain extent. But here's the thing: I will always say this: due to the sort of mistakes we're seeing in you can say how they approach games, that when you look at those games on paper, we at the end of the day we're supposed to win those games. They seem to go into those games with the mentality that we've won this one already. They don't know how to respect teams. They don't know how to take teams seriously. It's a mentality issue, and I'm going to go back to saying kids will always be kids, and that's what you get when you have too many young players and you have a team that lacks experience, lacks character. You get those you can say charity FC sort of performances, if that makes sense. Let's see. He is a very good goalkeeper, especially for penalties. I didn't know that really, but the question still for me is how good is he with his feet? Yeah, but like I said, somebody in the chat a few days ago, nearly a month right now, told us that Chelsea bought him because he's excellent on the ball, not just because of his shot stopping ability. But we'll see more of that. Big up to flipping your pillow on the hot night, Glenn. Glenn is a legend, really. That one was good. Sorry, especially for 7 penalties. I didn't know that really. I just learned that from you. Correa undergoing assessment and due to meet with a foot and ankle specialist to decide next steps. Double injury. Wow. He's been one of our best players this season, in my opinion. I'm not too sure what's going on with us. We get a player back, and then we lose a few to injury. It's just I'm not sure what's going on. Some would say it's down to Pochettino's training approach, but I don't want to believe that really. Let's see. Yep, we have it here. Robert Sanchez, Marco Correa. Yep, I'm looking at it from Chelsea Dodgers there. That's seriously concerning. And yep, hopefully we've addressed that particular report. Hopefully we get Lewis Hall back. So let's look at insights here. We've looked at teams, the respective teams' injuries and suspensions. We're good with that. 4 top scorers. Jackson has 6 goals in total. McBurney has 2 goals in total, and 1 assist at piece. 1 assist for Jackson and 1 assist for also McBurney. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. And then the last 5 minutes, 5 meetings between the two clubs. Let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chelsea have won how many? So in 2020, they beat us 3-0 in the Premier League. Wow. So Chelsea have won 1, 2, 3. Yep, we beat the last 3 meetings. We beat them. But the 4th one, they beat us 3-0, and the other one was a draw. So yeah, not bad. Okay, let's see. Head to head. 3 wins for us, 1 win for them, and 1 draw. Okay, so let's see team's current form. That's the last thing I like to look at to help me say, okay, I'm not going to drop my prediction right now. That's because I still want to do a prediction show on Soccer Perspective later today. Wow. But in terms of current form, pretty much the same. Pretty much this. Yeah, it's the same actually. They've lost three. They've lost 3 games out of 5. We lost 3 out of 5. They drew one. They drew 4-4 with Manchester City. Oh no, that's us. We drew 4-4 with Manchester City. They drew 1-1 with Brighton. Wow. Let's see. Okay, how many goals did we concede in those 5 games? Conceded 4 here, considered 1 here, that's 5. Considered 2 here, that's 7. 8, 10 goals in total. We've considered 10 goals in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. And they've considered 1, 4, okay, 9, 11. They've considered 1 more than us. So it's, you can say, pretty even in terms of how many goals they've considered and how many goals we've considered in 5 games. The disparity isn't that much. But yeah, they've considered 1 more. And how many have they scored in the 5 games in total? They've scored. We scored 4 here. We scored 5. Okay, 8, 9. We scored 9 in total in those 5 games. And in those 5 games, they scored okay, 1, 2. Wow, 7. Okay. No. They've scored 2, and they've scored just 3 goals in 5 games in total. So that's a good sign for us. So hopefully with that score, then we still have to look at the yes. Let's look at the insights. That tells us a lot. So we're ranked 8 in goals scored per match. We're averaging 1.6 goals per game, and that's not a good sign because that shows we've regressed. We were at 1.8 goals per game. Yep, the last match review, I think, or before that. But right now, we've dropped to 0.2 points. We're at 4. We've dropped 0.2 in terms of goals average per game. We're at 1.6 right now, and then they're ranked 20th in goals scored per game. The average is 0.8 goals per game. So we're better. We're still scoring more than them, just as we found out when we looked at how many goals we scored in our last 5 matches and how many they've scored. Chelsea have won the previous 3 matches against Sheffield United. We know that. They haven't won any away games in their last 7 matches. That's when I get concerned. Because I'm going to go back to letting you know that Charity FC is well and truly in existence because they haven't won any away games in 7 matches. And I'm sure if our players, if they see this, they will go into the game with the mindset of then we're winning this one, which has been an issue in my opinion for me. I am seriously concerned that Sheffield United haven't won any away games in 7 attempts. That's concerning to me. We haven't kept a clean sheet in 6 matches. Yep, that's concerning. And Wesley Fodorine is ranked number 1 in saves per match in the competition. So that's concerning to me. You could argue if he's that good, you could say he's made that many saves. That's because they faced a lot of shots. But here's the thing. I'm going to go back to this. I'm concerned. The fact that Sheffield United haven't they haven't won an away game in their last 7 matches. That's when you expect Chelsea to falter, in my opinion. But let's say what do you think? Are you concerned that Charity FC would do it again? And I think I saw Petrovic at 36% pass accuracy, but cannot remember. Maybe I'll just again, if I have somebody on the panel while that person is speaking, I'll have the time to go check out. Go to footystats.org and find him there and see what happens. Then we'll look at his passing accuracy. Another issue is the lack of ball carrying midfielders. It's just side to side passes until they lose ball possession. That was one of the reasons why I didn't want us to sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I think at the same time I wanted him to leave. That's because from Thomas Tuchel down to even Frank Lampard, they don't understand that the guy is an excellent ball carrier and didn't utilize him properly. Ugo is good at carrying the ball. Romeo Lavia is also good at carrying the ball. but those are the players we haven't seen play consistently for us. So whether they get a chance to play in that you can say help us or fulfill that, you can say be that person for us, we don't know yet. But I understand what you mean by that. So let's hear you. Are you concerned the fact that Sheffield United haven't lost? They haven't won any away game in 7 matches. Let's hear you. Whether you think we should expect to see Charity FC. I want to hear you. That's on the formation structure as well. Chimera, especially with Gallagher in 10, he drops deep, and that's down to, in my opinion, that's down to how the manager wants him to operate. Yep, he drops Steve, and then the role practically, and that's not me saying Gallagher, it's his fault. So I think I agree with you, the setup and structure and the application. So probably because let me go back again. I'm trying to explain. Probably because of his tactics mainly to help break up opposition play, follow the ball wherever it goes, just to unsettle the opposition. That's probably we're playing. You can say we're literally playing without a 10. Yeah, that's because the application when Gallagher is in that position is different, and I don't blame him. And whatever he brings to the table, which we all know, is the reason why the manager keeps playing there. Especially with Gallagher in number 10, he drops back to get ball. Then basically 3 DMs of passing sideways and back as gap. Yeah, then we have too many spaces in between them. Let's see what else we have here. Trevor Chalobah, Ian Masson, and Nani Madueke are on the chopping block, and Chelsea are ready to sanction their departures in the winter. And your source, I want to know what's your source. I'm not gonna until it happens. Trevor Chalobah, yes. Nani Madueke, not too sure, but chances are it happened, and that's because he himself, we've heard, is pushing for a move because he wants to be playing more. And I think he's good enough to be playing more, in my opinion. I get it. His injuries hasn't helped. The fact that he's been injured on multiple occasions since he joined Chelsea, that hasn't helped. But also the manager, you can say, he's not been given enough chance to prove that he's good enough to play for this club, in my opinion. My bad, it's 68%, which isn't actually bad. Passing for a season in MLS for Petrovic, that's not bad actually. And that can improve because the more you can say, if you have better players, then they know to help create extra passing lanes for you. I'm seeing people saying, come. I don't know why it's saying joined. It looks like they're joining from Twitter, or maybe StreamYard is trying to also to start showing comments from Twitter. I'm not sure if that's the case. This says, any word on Nkunku being in the starting lineup? There was a report yesterday that said something to the effect of Nkunku will be part of the squad tomorrow. Whether he starts, I don't know, but I think he gets minutes there. But it remains to be seen. And that's a link from Chelsea. Pochettino Premier League transfer. Okay, I'll look at that in a bit. I actually prefer to see Madueke more over Sterling. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But why hasn't Pochettino done that? I don't know. It looks like he doesn't trust him. Was he again? Madueke was again. He graduated from Tottenham's academy. Did he get to play under Pochettino? I don't know. I think he was probably too young at the time and was sent out on loan, so I can't quite remember. Okay, we'll find out. Roger, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to start with the usual question, but before I do that, I hope you're doing well, brother. Always nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the panel. I don't know. I want to eat what you're eating. You spend like 15 hours on Mitchie Boss channel. You still have time. You still have the time to be on Chelsea Perspective for another show. I admire your, should I say, longevity and energy. But that's, by the way, Roger. I hope you're well. More importantly, and you did say something, and I asked a question in the chat on Mitchie Boss. Did you go under the knife recently?
No, not recently. A few years ago, but yeah, I've had about 3 or 4 reasonably important surgeries in my life, I guess. So yeah, it's for the heart and for my spine, and I'm telling you, I've visited quite a few surgeons, and they all tell me the same thing. 2 things: one, everyone's body's different, and
Hmm.
two, surgery should always be as a last resort. That's why when I hear people talking about Reese or anybody else, it's not. They shouldn't take it so nonchalantly, so casually, because it's not something you should dismiss as such. It's a very important thing, surgery, especially
Hmm.
if you're a professional athlete.
Hmm. Yeah, and then the
So,
way you put it yesterday, and I think you said something to the effect of your doctor told you that the last thing he wants to do is to cut you open.
yeah,
Um,
it was at Stanford University, and he's a spinal surgeon. And
mhm,
so we spoke, and we met a few times, and he basically detailed and outlined um, many different various alternatives. Like um, certain spinal injections and so forth, and you name it, all kinds of treatment. And he said the last resort is always surgery. He goes, my job is to never cut you open,
mhm,
and that's coming from an American surgeon, that gets paid to cut people open. So what does that tell you? So I think people, when they're discussing these athletes, like, oh yeah, well they should just go under the knife. It's not as simple as that. First
mhm,
of all, I know anesthesiology, anaesthetists. You stand like a 1% or slightly less than 1% chance of actually not even making it through the surgery because of the complications. Even though the last
mhm.
30 years there's been tremendous improvements
When you're
in
talking
that
about a
field.
human life, less than 1% is a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like it's 1% too many. Then there's that, then there's all side effects. And especially if it's on a muscle or a tendon, there are some surgeries, don't get me wrong, they're keyhole, and we've come leaps and bounds with regards to knee surgeries. If you go back 30 years ago,
Mhm,
there's been huge advancements, don't get me wrong. But I think in
mhm,
certain areas of the body, it's still there's no guarantees, and I think people need to. I think they're so casual about it, so nonchalant. Oh, he should have the surgery. No, he shouldn't. It depends. First of all, yeah, I admit they're seeing some of the best surgeons in the world, but it comes at a cost, and not just immediately, but further down the line. When that person is past retirement, there's always
mhm,
ramifications. So don't forget, an athlete's body is his office, and you only get one body, right? So
mhm. Let's just quickly, Roger. Let's bring you back. The usual question that we start with. Are you looking forward to this one? Let's hear you. Before I
yeah,
even show you
I actually
whether,
am.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, tell us why. I'm shocked. Really, you usually don't.
Yeah, I, I have a feeling that, well, I don't know about. Listen, I think the more they get on the field together, play together,
Hmm.
the better they're going to be. They need reps. This is inherently a young team. Listen, on paper, we should have beaten Everton, but we don't match up well with these big, strong, low blocking teams.
It
But
was
I,
it was very, it was very apparent on the day.
Yeah, and that's been our MO for a long time now. And listen, we're going against a team that I believe has a new manager, and therefore there's a new bounce,
Hmm.
a manager bounce, and which is quite often the case. So our timing is impeccable as usual. Um, but I'm a bit nervous about this keeper if Sanchez doesn't play, but I'm actually looking
Because
forward to him.
he's the unknown. He's the unknown. Just for lack of a
Yeah,
better
very
language, we still
much.
don't know him, which was why we preached at the time, Roger, just quickly, that he should get games here and there to be ready because you never know. But at the same time, at the time when we discussed the importance of him getting game time, we did also yeah recognize that the manager at the time, uh the manager had to play Sanchez because he hadn't played for a while before we signed him. So playing more will help him regain his form, and it worked. But go ahead with what you were saying. And did I do a tap in on you?
Never, sir.
But go
But
ahead, Roger.
that there's many different things to look forward to. I'm a bit anxious about him, because
Hmm.
you know being thrown in the deep end, it can somewhat dent your confidence going forward. It would have been better for him to have started,
Yeah,
in a
play
cup
from the
game.
start to finish, right?
Yeah, well, that too, but in the cup game, um, against a lesser opposition, perhaps. But then again, we're not exactly, no disrespect, playing against a 5-time European champion. This is a team that is struggling right now, which doesn't mean anything actually, because at any given time and any given day, any team can beat any team. We've seen this for a millennia now. This league is a very competitive league. That's why I think it was Mourinho, or was it Ancelotti, was saying the bottom 10 in the Premier League is the strongest in Europe. You know, if you go against the bottom 10 of any other league, usually on the average, I think that's a fair assessment. You know, it's not going to be a walkover. You know, it's going to be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to see who starts, who pairs with whom in the back. I want to see us tighten up defensively. You know, I know we have issues, and I'm pretty. Listen, there's going to be how shall I put this? There's going to be a rotation with Sterling and Mudryk. I'm dying to see who plays this week. It's probably going to be Mudryk. I'm sorry, Sterling, because Mudryk started before, about 4 days ago. But yeah, this is a good test. I think. Listen, I'm going to be honest here, and I think I said it on Mitch's show last night. I think if we do lose this game, or you know, this is going to really start for the first time under his tenure, Poch's tenure. The pressure is going to start to ratchet up. You know, I really believe that,
and that's especially true if Nkunku plays.
Yeah, but I don't expect him to play of any consequence. You know, maybe 5-10 minutes at the end, but you know, it's going to really start to mount. I mean, we saw small insights. Small insights into his stress levels in his last post-match press conference for the first time.
He snapped.
Yeah, I wouldn't say snapped, but he was somewhat petulant. Let's put it that way. You know, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think he's feeling the pressure to a certain extent now. I think this was quite obvious, or at least that's how he portrayed himself. You know,
all right,
who
I'll come back to you again. Let's give those in the chat the microphone here. I actually prefer to see Mudryk more over Sterling. I feel the same, and I can show you even his cousin Roger maybe feels the same too.
Yeah.
Nani Madueke progressing with the reconditioning phase of his rehabilitation process. And I'm not going to go to the extent of believing that the club will sell him. But what I believe is that he's pushing, he's open to leaving, even on loan. He hasn't given up his Chelsea career. He just wants to show I'm capable of doing this. If you're going to keep me here, I need to be playing. And I think he's a good player. Just for comparison, Sanchez is a 75% of passing in the Premier League. I think we can say it's much harder in the EPL. I'd say in terms of the way they press in the MLS, probably much harder, because I've seen a few games. It's dirtier. The tackles can be breaking level, in my opinion, but we'll find out sooner than later. But we were told one of the reasons why they bought him is his ball playing ability. Another Everton match on repeat. We'll find out if that's the case. Slimy Roger Dodger out with a hashtag there. Yep, some love. And Constantine Dante, I think this is with regards to what Roger said about the doctors not wanting to open their patient up. That's what doctors say, but I don't agree. They prefer to put you on painkillers and all these meds programs. It's better to just get operation and not waste time. This is 2023. And again, that's your opinion. Everybody will all see things from different lenses, and we need Roger to protect Petrovic. I think Roger doesn't protect without context. Roger doesn't just come out and start protecting a particular player. He has to have you can say something to back up his argument. If you know Roger that well, he's not just going to start protecting Petrovic. He's told you quite clearly. That's something for me. How I read it is that he's not too sure what to expect, and that's because Petrovic right now is the unknown.
Yeah, he's an unknown entity, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know him, so it makes sense, and I agree with that. The pharma companies say, okay, getting a lot from you. Let's move on from that because so it doesn't sound as if that's what we're talking here. If you are a pro athlete, they operate on anything straight away, but on normal people, no. So yeah, if you see, if I see the word athlete in it, then I will read it. And JC is in the house. Hey, Coach Dodgers, Coach Church too, and the chat. How are you all? I can't complain. I hope you're doing well. JC, nice to see you, brother. Appreciate you finding the time to join us here. Says sorry for a rant. Touchy subject. I think Roger will read it because that response was for him. Yeah, you were allowed to have conversations here, but once it's outside of football, I will find a way to skip it. But big up to all of you. Let's see, Roger. Here's the question I wanted to ask you. Let's get to that one. This year, which says that Sheffield United haven't won any game in the last any away game in the last 7 attempts. I would say, even though it could say I'm confident that we're gonna win this one, but I'm a bit concerned. Did the and I'm gonna say why Charity FC. Let's hear you, Roger.
About what
The
particular?
fact that Sheffield United, they haven't won any away game in 7 attempts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we do seem to have that charity propensity, don't we? Um, we just we're not playing to our potential, and we seem to lose concentration, and this
Mhm.
is quite reminiscent of a young team with youthful players that lack discipline, that haven't been there, with a lack of leadership all over the pitch. We gift many goals away, and this is very symptomatic of that. And we're very inconsistent, from one week to the other.
Mhm.
So, and this is a reflection of our squad depth and squad youth. I mean, it's 23.06 years, I think it is, for all 28 players. So the median average age, I mean. So, and this is symptomatic of it. So, until we progress and improve, you're going to see inconsistency. We're consistently inconsistent.
Yep, kids will always be kids.
Yeah, yeah,
That's 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 how I like to say it. And I actually thought Sheffield United were in a better form. I think I was mixing them up with one of the teams, mid-table teams that were picked up form of late. I'll take my time to look at it again. A Sheffield team fighting a relegation with a new manager bounce at the charity stadium. just just fulfill the match and hand them the 3 points. I hope they surprise us, but your argument honestly is legit in my opinion, for lack of a formal language there that comes to mind. I'm going to say, yeah, that's a legit argument in my opinion. Board should focus on selling Lukaku and Kepa as soon as possible. I think Lukaku won't be an issue. Selling Lukaku won't be an issue, but Kepa may well end up becoming a penny in the you know where. I hope that's not the case. JC saying, why are we questioning Sanchez's passing ability? We're not. When there are no open players to pass the ball in front of him, we didn't question his passing ability. We're just comparing him and Petrovic, who's better than the other. As for his initial errors, they have reduced quite a lot. I agree, and it's normal when you come to a new system, and plus the fact that he hadn't played for a while before we signed him. I think it makes sense. We're not questioning his passing ability. We were comparing. I think what we tried, we were talking about at the time, whether he's better than Petrovic or whether, and vice versa. So we want. To me, I actually think he's good on the ball, and we've talked about that. Again on the panel here, where we believe as a team bets him properly, starts playing as a unit, he'll be making less and less mistakes. Yep. Yeah, Jesse not questioning Sanchez's passing, was saying about Petrovic, if they pass 100 times back to him, how he is. Yep, I think I've explained, but you explained further. So sorry for your medical circumstances, sir. I did actually eventually have surgery, and I'm still on painkillers. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not easy for anybody. I haven't been there, but I have friends who've been there. I have people I know that've been there. It's not easy. Yeah. But just say if you guys need, you can. I hope just stay strong. I don't know what else to say on how to show how we feel you. We
Yeah,
understand. Yeah,
it's
that's
part of
not easy.
life, you know.
It's part of life. Yeah.
Mm.
But that thank you so much, Roger, for saying that. So, Roger, let me hear you. This particular part of this, the insights that says that Sheffield haven't won any away games in the last 7. What do you make of it? Do you see Charity FC doing its thing, or do you think even at that we still beat them?
I can't tell you which team will show up. You know, which players will show up.
Mhm.
Look at Sterling. We can never predict. Is he going to be a man of a match? Give us a man of a match performance like he did against City, and I believe Liverpool also, and 1 or 2 other games where he was outstanding. Just was a 9 or a 10 out of 10, or is he going to be a 4 or a 3 out of 10 where he has last 3 games he's 1 out of 9 for successful dribbling. Think about that. 0 out of 3, 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3.
Yeah, the
He won't
most I
even
think the
go.
most he's done since he joined Chelsea was 50%.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's been above 50. He's on 40%, I believe, right now, exactly 40.0. So he's so inconsistent, coach. Just looking at him as an example. Then you've got Disasi has had I think he's been for the most part very consistent. But then you've got Cucurella inconsistent. You've got Caicedo pretty inconsistent. Enzo's been pretty consistent, but I think a lot of the travelling is a factor for him, you know, with regards to international. And then our forwards, Jackson, let's not go there. He defines inconsistency. So you look at individualistically and collectively, I don't know about you, but I have no idea who's going to show up. We sometimes look like European champs, and then there are other times we look like we're a relegated team. So I have no clue. It's a roller coaster of a ride. It really is, and that is a lot of that is because of Poch has to play players either out of position or rotate players because of the injury status. He hasn't really been afforded the luxury of having a stable squad.
Yeah, I do agree with you. That's why you say I've not. You say I haven't joined the train, the Poch out train, and I don't think I will anytime soon.
But are you in line though to get a ticket?
Um, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, just
Not yet.
checking. Just checking, coach.
Listen, you even underground Potter, it took a while before I got onto that bus.
Yeah, but then you bought a first class ticket. Let me just.
Yep. Here's the, I think if we're being honest, we have to wait until he has all the important players back and available for selection, and I think that will happen soon. And that's because their injury status, majority of them is saying doubtful. Which is usually a good sign, which means they're ready. But the only thing remaining is what date are they going to come back? Make the return. That's not, sorry if you were you going to say something? Were you saying something, Roger?
No, it's fine. It's you know what would be really hard to take is if he's dismissed prior to Nkunku and Lavia and other players not returning. You know, if the wheels do fall off the vehicle and he is dismissed, you know that'll be.
Yeah, go ahead.
That will not be good. I mean, that to me is not giving the manager a chance and the coaching staff a chance, in my opinion. So
yeah, maybe if they live under the rock.
Yeah, I just hope we show more patience. You know,
I think we have to. We have to.
Yeah.
We have to give him time to work with all the players we've signed for him. I think it wouldn't make sense to. Yeah, I think you made a great point there. It wouldn't make sense to fire him even before he got a chance to work with Nkunku and Romeo Lavia and have a fully fit squad. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this. I say give him time. I'll start judging him when he has Nkunku, Kani, Chukwuemeka, Romeo Lavia, all these players available. Then if then that's when I'll take my time to look at it and say he's really struggling. He doesn't know what he's doing. But right now, it wouldn't make sense to just start judging him when we've been ravaged by injuries. It just doesn't make sense. But Roger, go ahead. Sorry if I cut you off.
No, not at all. I just believe that, even if the wheels do start to fall off, I think he needs to be given the benefit of the doubt. I really do. Until he can field a healthy team to a certain extent. You're never going to have a fully healthy team, but you get my gist. Because we've been depleted. You look at virtually every week since his tenure started, and also last year, let's be honest. You're looking at between 6 to 12 players each and every week unable to be on the bench, let alone start. So, and in certain areas, we're using third and fourth string. Look at the number 10 position. Nkunku, Carney, Gallagher, and then we were using what's his name, Palmer. Not that's a step down, but we're on the fourth string person playing in that position. So you look at the left back, the right back, second, third choices. So the team health has been, we've been bitten by the bug, that's for sure. And I think it's too premature to change a coaching or management staff. I really do, because listen, he's gonna feel the pressure if we don't start winning soon. I really believe that. I think that the crowd will turn on him at the bridge.
Yeah, I believe so too. Can we look? The beautiful game. Here's the thing. I think you're getting closer and closer to hellfire. And you're not going to drag me into that. Look at it. What sort of comment is this? Can we surgically remove Gallagher from Chelsea? If we don't, we could end up losing the whole leg. But big up to you, the Bluetooth again. Much love to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. But you're getting closer and closer to hell. The sort of thing you say about our players. And Chimera is saying, I'm hearing a shock January Deadwood clear out. Music to my ears. If Jackson was a candidate, a strategy to see Chalobah and Matson on the chopping block, I'd rather see Kukurea and Chilwell go. Wow. Okay. But it's up to the manager. We've been playing with half a squad all season. Oh, Roger will be happy with you.
That's the truth.
I think he's going to send you a check, but that's the truth, really. But a lot of people don't consider that. They just jump straight to finding a way to blame the owners. The most senseless one I've heard is one that said the owners bought the club to set it up to make a lot of money in 10 years and then sell the club. And I was going to say, just respond to that person. Maybe you need to go back to school and learn mathematics. They bought the club for 2.something billion pounds. They've spent $1 billion plus already. They're going to build a stadium. They're probably close to $1 billion or even maybe. And then, and we're almost nearly 2 years into their project. And you think they will make enough in 10 years to say, okay, we want to sell the club. It's just, sometimes you just hear people saying absolute nonsense because they're frustrated. And that's understandable. But there's a thin line between being critical of a situation than just abusing people. But I move on. I'm not the pastor. I'm not here to preach to anybody. People have every right to see the situation however they deem fit, and you can say see it however they want to see it. Okay, Roger, I'm sure you're seeing this. I'm going to move on to this one. Chimera, I recollect our discussion earlier in the year on this topic. May I ask you to advise what is one in your opinion our weaknesses Chilwell has shown? Okay, that's a conversation between you and him. And breaking due to high demand, train ticket sales have been suspended, but transport staff are still open to. Yep, I'm not doing the brown envelope thing. I think he wants to sell us tickets to Poch out, Roger. So we're not buying. And I've told you, you're closer. You're getting closer and closer to Hellfire, the Blue TV game. I would
funny.
sell. Go ahead.
That was funny.
Yeah,
breaking.
Yeah. And I was thinking maybe he saw something we haven't seen and wanted to update us on what's going on. I would sell mine at a hefty premium. I think Heston JC actually bought his own ticket earlier.
Yeah,
very
I think
early
so.
in the season.
Yeah, I think he got first class too, the champagne room, I believe.
Yep. He's in a top class. If there's anything better than first class, is there. I bought a few spare ones, and I know Jerry is flipping coming. Jerry is going back and forth. I'm not sure where he stands right now. Pochettino says the Christmas activities yesterday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Chelsea squad have been important for squad building. Everything gets to everyone. Okay, everything gets to meet all the families and staff members. That's fine. It's a good thing. We need that because we're not a unit yet. Good morning to you too, Jude. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have just 35 likes. We should be doing way better than that. And this I say good morning to you, Jude. Let's see what else we have here. Where's a flipper? Yep, Jerry Z is up and down right now. Let's see what else we have here. Me and the blue. Yep, first classes, but I'm not sure. Constantine, I'm not sure where you stand yet. Pochettino, we will succeed for sure. You will see. You may think that I am crazy, but we will not give up. Because the talent is there. So I'm just gonna stop. If you are posting stuff from the manager's presser, I'm gonna skip it. That's because we'll still get back to those after maybe we should just breeze that through that quickly. No, we should get to the lineup prediction exercise. We've seen that Gusto is ready, and that's a lot. We know Kukurea is out. Who else? The scientists, we know two of them. We know they're out. So so we can work with that. And once we're done, then we'll go through the manager's comments from the manager's presser. Let's see, Santiago Munoz, nice to see you again. And Deborah Markin, just something is fundamentally wrong at Chelsea. Reduce your expectations and protect your mental health. That's an excellent advice. Yeah, that's an excellent advice, and that deserves an applause, in my opinion. Yeah. Yep, I have to say. Reduce. Okay. Yep, reduce your expectations and protect your mental health. I agree with that one. And the truth remains, if you realize, if you know the fact that we have an entirely new squad, we have a lot of young players, you shouldn't be expecting too much. It would take time before boys will become boys become men. Whatever happens tomorrow is beyond our control. Wow, that's some wise comment there from Adebayo Makunju. I want Nkunku tomorrow. He will play tomorrow. Whether he starts, I honestly do not know. One of the reasons we cannot sack Poch now is that our boys cannot even play together yet. Yep. If you sack him, whoever comes in starts afresh. And it will actually compound the situation, in my opinion. Reason the old Chelsea did well under different managers is because the players had bonded before they become our managers. So that's a delicious comment right there. I appreciate that. And we say, and yeah, you deserve an applause. Yep, I agree with you. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? All right, this one here is saying that, yes, Coach JC actually joined our early bird tickets. Yep, I remember that. Purchasing scheme during the preseason. The man is a visionary. Yep, keep him. I'm not joining you guys. Let's see. Poch is in the Xmas spirit. Plenty of El Vino Rojo. Whatever that means, I honestly do not know. We have this here saying the blue. He has the golden ticket. He's actually the driver himself. Coach has gone and got himself a soundboard. Don't forget to add a woof woof sound for you. You know who, Coach. Just go away. Roger, anything else you want to say before we start the lineup building exercise?
No, thank you. That was bloody funny.
I don't like that guy either. So as usual, I'm gonna start with the most difficult. I've taken my time to look at Sanchez and Petrovic and what's the other goalkeeper? The one that's been out for like 20 months now for whatever reason. He's been out for nearly 6 months now. I don't know the sort of injury he sustained. Bettinelli, three of them. But I'm going to go, yeah. I think, yes, and I've done the research. You don't have to worry. I think Petrovic is going to start between the sticks. Yeah, no need to bother yourself, Roger. I've done my homework.
I think there's a strong possibility, but we don't know. Sanchez may start. We don't know. What's so funny?
No, go ahead. You playing along so nicely. Anybody listening would think you're serious. Go ahead.
But the serious...
No, Sanchez is out. There's a report during the presser that I looked at on the left.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't. Not
I didn't think you. I honestly, I didn't know you that you didn't know.
No.
But let's hear you, Roger. The back four. Let's hear you.
Yeah, the back four. So let me ask: is Cucurella available? Is he?
No,
out?
He's out.
He's out also.
Yeah, possibly with 2 injuries, actually, foot and knee. I think so. Somebody in the chat. I think it was Vic that said it in the chat. Yeah.
So then I would probably go with Colwell as a left back.
Definitely. I don't see the manager doesn't trust Maatsen.
Now, is Gusto available?
Yep, Gusto is available.
Okay, then I would assume if he's healthy, then I would go with from left to right. It's going to be Silva, Disasi, and Gusto. I believe that's going to be the probable starting back four. You know, and if Gusto isn't 100% fit to start, I believe.
I think he's fit. It's remember he actually trained with his teammates before the Everton game. Maybe it was just the manager being cautious not to
man management.
Setback, but go ahead.
Yeah, and if Gusto doesn't start for whatever reason, then I would assume it will be Badiashile, Silva, and then Disasi.
But Gusto is ready.
Right. If that's the case, then yeah. I mean, we have to assume, or presume, because we're not privy to such medical records, and they keep a lot close to their chest, don't they? These managers.
And Roger, before we continue, actually, a question I want to ask you: during the after the Everton game, during the post-game interview, Eddie Howe did say something to the effect of Chelsea doesn't like to defend. Was it Eddie Howe? No, it wasn't. During after the post-game of the Manchester United game, Ten Hag, who for me I don't think he should have said that. He said that Chelsea Chelsea don't like to defend, and they knew that coming into the game, and it worked for them. What do you make of that comment? Is it right that we don't like to defend? I get it. We've been shambolic defensively, but not to the extent that we don't want to defend. Maybe he's correct. I don't know, but let's hear you. What do you make of that comment?
It's a backhanded compliment, isn't it, really? I don't know how you could read into that. I'd have to listen to the context, I mean, and, the body language, the tone of his voice, it could mean anything. But if, without knowing any of the aforementioned, I would say that's a slight on Chelsea, meaning that he perceives us not to be strong defensively, where we prefer to be on the front foot and bossing the ball around. That's how I perceive it.
Wow. Okay. Let's say if you're in the chat, Petrovic between the sticks, 2 center backs, Silva and the Sassi left back, Levi Cole right back, Malo Gusto. Let's say do you think the manager would do otherwise? I'm quite sure if Bobby is here, he would put the Sassi in the right back position. But I don't see that happening. What game was that we played? I was against Brighton. We were solid defensively, but offensively we were awful. Right? We played with how many center backs that day? 1, 2, 3, 4 center backs. We did well defensively, but we were awful offensively. Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger. Against Brighton.
Yeah. You talk about the cup game.
No. It was the last game we played against Brighton was in the Premier League. We were awful, wasn't it? And it was in the Premier League, yeah.
Was it? I thought it was a cup game. I can't recall.
No, the cup game was a few games ago, for like for a better way to, yeah, it was in the Premier League. Yep, the one we beat
So
them 2-1. Yeah, go ahead. So
Brighton.
look at
How
it.
many
We
times?
beat them.
Oh,
Let me
I see.
see.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot we played them twice. Yeah, you're correct. That was Premier
Mhm,
League.
mhm.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
3-2.
easy to mix those things up. But go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, because we played them earlier in the year, in
Mhm.
September, and that was a cup game. So yeah, I really can't recall the game, and I've seen it at least twice. I really don't recall the game. So
Yeah, I
it's
recall
hard.
we played with four centre backs. Disasi played right back. Um,
Got a better memory than I, sir.
but
That's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Okay, go
Please
ahead. Okay.
continue.
All right, thank you. Yep. Coach has gone. Yeah, I've read that one. And let's see what else we have here. Coach's soundboard is all positive only. Nope. We we have this. Where is it actually? I want to show you this quickly. Can I find it?
Wow.
There you go, sir. I'm waiting, and you're probably gonna be the first, the Bluetooth game. Let's see. How long is Sanchez out? No definite return date yet. Even for 100, if Bettinelli's pensioner starts, I don't think he starts. No. And plus, what sort of injuries does he have? I just don't know. No to Sanchez. That panic button needs to take a sit back. Let's see what Petrovic is all about. I wanted that to happen in cup games, not in match proper. Sanchez is so far is proven to be, you can say, one of our best signings of the season, in my opinion, because he's done really, really well, even though he hadn't played for a while before we signed him. So how quickly he picked up form, my oh my, he can be good on the ball. Sometimes he can be rubbish on the ball, but I think he will improve with over time and he'll become better, in my opinion. I don't think the goalkeeping department should be of any concern to us, in my opinion. Sterling on left wing and Nkunku on cam, Palmer on right wing. Do you think Pochettino would drop Gallagher? I'd say no. I'm going to say this again. I keep repeating this. I even went to an extent of betting $100 if he doesn't start the next game against that bet was against my bro and friend Uncle Justice. I'm not saying Gallagher is a bad player. I know what he brings to the table, and I know how important that is to Mauricio Pochettino if you know him very well. And I went to the extent of us telling people on X, formerly Twitter, that from what we're seeing, he's actually the manager's most important player. And somebody in the chat rightly said he's built the team around him. Do I think he needs to improve? Yeah. But in my opinion, I need more from my 10. But whatever the manager thinks will work, let him do that. And I'll go back to saying the bar is that low. Yep, as much as the numbers show he's one of our best players so far this season. But we can do twice as much as what he's done to be one of our best players. But give him credit. That's not easy. And I'll move on from that, in my opinion. But I understand where you're coming from. Broya as a striker, nope. I think we're better off. We're better off with Jackson on the pitch. Roger, let's hear you. What do you think? Let's just have that conversation now.
No, it's no. I've seen enough of Jackson right now, and I only want to see Jackson play when Nkunku starts. I want to see whether they can rejuvenate their link-up play that they did so well in pre-season. But right now, I want to see a long run of games for Broya. I believe he's deserved that. Jackson, listen, he's played, 14, 15 games this year, give or take, one or two. And he has been consistently inconsistent. If you take away the Spurs game, when we've played against 11 men, I believe he's scored 4 goals in 14 matches. That's not good enough. He's missing so many opportunities. I've said this many times. In pre-season, he was the definition of composed. He's everything but composed now. So I don't know. I'm not sold on him. That doesn't mean to say that he can't be a great player in in the future, I'm not writing him off because look at his age, coach. He's so young. But let's be honest, he is very raw, and he's played against good opposition and not so good opposition, and he's shown that he's inept aerially. He doesn't know how to head the ball, even from point blank range. He looks like the ball is foreign to him. He's never seen a ball in the air before, so he doesn't know how to head the ball. And he's missed opportunities.
Okay.
Not just him, by the way. There are many other players that are equally as guilty. Don't get me wrong, but to me personally, I'd rather see Broja start for 10, 12 games consecutively, assuming he's healthy, and see what he can do to get a run of games, because Jackson has proven thus far he's not the player we thought he was. So to me, if I said this on Mitch's show several times, to me, if I'm a scout or a football executive and I have to only go on this season and I work for another team, would I recommend we purchase him? No, I would not. Maybe as a development player, but certainly not as a starting number 9. No way. Maybe in another league, perhaps, but not in the Premier League. He's proven he's not able to be composed in front of goal. And yet when you look at the preseason, he was everything you wanted. He was so composed, so clinical, and he's been the exact opposite of that in the regular season. I think, and I'm not being, shall we say, harshly critical of him. I'm just being honest. It's an honest assessment. That doesn't mean, as I said, he can't be an amazing player like a Drogba, for instance. I'm not saying he can't be, but currently, at this present moment in time, he is not the finished article. And he's cost us games, just like everyone else has, like a Mudryk, etc. Like you can go across the board for all intents and purposes. It's a systemic failure across the whole entire team for not putting chances away. I'm not just picking on him, but that's
I understand. Here's where I think you make a solid argument. You referenced Jackson's combination play with Nkunku during the preseason, which was excellent. We all loved it. It led to a lot of people saying we've arrived. But in my opinion, and again, believe me, I hope you don't mind. In my opinion, I think we're better off having Jackson on the pitch right now. And that's because he can do more than Broja can do. Broja, it's more like playing with a traditional number 9, and that hasn't helped us. I don't think we create enough when we play with a traditional number 9. He looked lost the last time he played for us, in my opinion.
But that's just it. How many times has he played for us? But
that's the thing. Do we have the luxury to still give him that many games until he picks up?
Yes.
Maybe let's start with cup games, in my opinion. But go ahead, Rosa.
Yeah. My logic is this. I counter your logic, because take away the Spurs game, which he should have had a 6, by the way. That shows you how inconsistent he is. We can't afford to carry on based on his output so far this year. Okay, we're in 12th. So we can afford to, because guess what? You know, if you're not going to be in the top 7 or 8, it doesn't matter where you're going to be. If you for him to have one full start since surgery, or is actually 2 or 3, but it's been so sporadic. He hasn't had a run of games consistently like a Jackson has. I believe we have to. In fact, what your argument is actually for my argument, because it's because of his lack of productivity, meaning Jackson is the very reason that we have to see whether Broja can indeed fulfill his potential with a consistent run of games. Because we know Jackson, thus far, with basically 40% of the season gone, has proven he cannot deliver. That's my logic.
I don't think I can fight you alone on this one, Rich.
I'm just being honest with you.
No, I know, but that's why we're here. We're here to debate.
And I got news for you. If Jackson starts the next 10 games, he could get a hat-trick every game. We don't know that yet. But we
don't know. Here's my argument. I think
I'm just basing it on what I've seen thus far. That's all I'm doing.
And I think Jackson, we're better off deploying Jackson as a second striker than a number 9. Just let Jackson be Jackson, and believe me, he
Perhaps,
will come good. Yeah.
perhaps
Um.
maybe on the left. You know, perhaps
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, I just feel that because don't forget the amount of opportunities that we cross the ball aerially, and he can't contribute aerially. Broja can. Broja is vastly superior in the air to Jackson. There is no doubt about that. So, from that aspect alone, I feel Jackson is not a number 9. He's a winger, or he's a forward, however you want to term it, or a
Mhm.
second striker. Um, but look how he linked up very well with Nkunku. You know, it's not just all about scoring yourself. It's about making intelligent runs to take a defender away. You know, these kind of things, which he's intelligent and he holds the ball up well. I'm not disputing. He does have many positive attributes, but regarding being clinical and putting away chances, he has fallen short, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean he can't start in another position. I totally agree with you, Coach.
Yeah. And here's the thing, this
You see
question
my
here.
logic, though?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. It makes sense. No, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
It would be good if we just played a 3 at the back. I think it's not good. It will render if we play at the 3 at the backs, which means we'll have to play with wing backs, which renders the need for wingers useless, and that creates a lot more issues, problems for the manager. Except if he has a plan to, you can say to deal with that. To still like maybe our wingers, I'm not sure they're not good at playing as at playing as you can say inside forwards. They're not, which you can say will help reduce the redundancy if they're playing with a 3 at the back causes. Gallagher on the bench. We'll find out, but I don't want to pronounce the first one how you wrote it. Rich Moneymakers, I have missed you too. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm not doing that with you guys. You guys are going to hell. We need to win, coach. Oh, yeah. Do do we need a scientist to tell us that? Ten Hag is right, man. We don't defend as a team. Yeah, I just wanted to understand what to me I wasn't too sure. Maybe yeah, if you go with the from the perspective that we don't defend as a unit, maybe that's an issue. The CC was put right back against Brentford for height, and we crashed the party. The papers was to counter that set piece, coach. Frank and Poch lost the plot. Negative setup, and we lost. I think we should attack. We have the prowess. We have the talents to attack any team and do well, as was proven against Man City, in my opinion. Mainly defenders are doing the defending. The midfielders aren't doing enough to protect the defenders. That's has what I've always said. That's some hardcore negative soundboard. Sound coach. You're coming to hell with us. No, your guys are going. I'm the one to dictate who goes there, who doesn't. Big up, coach. You can use that booing sound for Punch. Maybe we'll find out. I could do that. Fact, the Blades haven't kept a clean sheet in 29 league trips to Stamford Bridge since a goalless draw in October 1922. Ooh, wow. Okay. That's a long time ago. Hell no, Butte Squad around road runners. The manager, let's see. Breuer deserved a long run of games. Based on what because Jackson hasn't been delivering. I'm sure you heard Roger's argument. Raheem Sterling has been involved in 19 goals in his last 18 Premier League appearances against newly promoted teams, scoring 15 and assisting 4. Maybe it is. Maybe this will be his day, and maybe the manager knows that. But we'll find out. Jackson is doing his job well for a striker that creates his goals and assists others. Wow, Marky Newman. Okay, I see that. Mauricio Pochettino has won 36 of his Premier League clashes against promoted sides, drawing 4 and losing just 2. But this is Chelsea Football Club. Joined. I think StreamYard is experimenting with something. If somebody joins from a Twitter or X, as it's called, it shows his stats. I'm not sure what to make of that. But welcome everybody. You're all welcome here. Jackson has more goals than Darwin Nunes, who everyone loves. I have my argument. I think there's a good player in him, but he hasn't done it for Liverpool yet.
Yeah, but
Kuchila does.
but that's comparing apples to oranges because he's not getting that many minutes. Because look at the players in front of him right now. Look
Yeah.
at the level of clinical players that score for fun. So Jackson plays far more many minutes than he does. So I think
So you have to put that
yeah,
into context too.
you put Jackson in the Liverpool team, he's not getting a minute, not even. And who knows? You put him on the Chelsea team, he may succeed. You don't know. I actually like him. I rate him. If you watch some of his
But do
goals he
you think
scored,
I know?
yeah, no, but if you look at some of the goals he scored when he has played, they've been outstanding, coach. You don't just score these types of goals if you're not a good player. Period.
Yeah, I think he will come good. I still believe he will come good for Liverpool.
He may
But
not.
so
He may
far
not.
here's why people are judging him that much. Is because of the misses are so crazy, which is why others are starting ahead of him.
But then look at the misses that our players have.
I understand. I'm not comparing him with
better.
that place. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you the reason why people are judging him like that. He's a fighter. I think there's a good player in him, but he's struggled of late. Kuchila, does your boofer have support that can motivate? Just go away.
What was that?
Jackson hasn't helped himself by that interaction, even though it's nobody's business. I know the reason.
Yeah, I don't. That's to me, that's not relevant.
It's not relevant, but yeah, that's because because he's not doing well. It's more of an issue than it should be, in my opinion. Let's see. It's all. Just go away. The Blades are the only team in the division without any away league victories this season. Really. Taking 1 point from 7 matches.
Yeah.
And I don't like to hear that. The law of averages. That's not Bobby. You cannot be asking for things while saying that this season is a write-off. That's not Bobby there. And Broya just slows down the attack more. He looks lost. No link. I think he looked lost too. But I get Roger's argument. Since Jackson hasn't been delivering, maybe Broya needs a run of games so we can see what he's actually capable of doing. I wanted Jackson on left wing instead of Mudryk. I think Jackson will be better off as a second striker. In the 10 role, but the application of a second striker, I think he would do well there. Broya superior in air, yet he has not one header. Jackson has a header assist. But if we're being honest, I think Broya is better aerially, in my opinion. Let's see anything else. Coach, when I say a 3 at the back, I mean 3-2-4-1. Okay, with wingers too. I think it makes sense with wingers rather than wing backs.
That's Pep's formation 3-2-4-1. That's what he normally deploys.
So he plays with 3 center backs, right?
Yeah.
And then
Would depend. Like sometimes Walker's a centre back. So, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, typically 3 centre backs and a centre back in midfield also.
So that structure can allow him to accommodate wingers.
It's very fluid. Yeah, it's very fluid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the formation that Pep uses more often than not.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I think it makes sense. 3-2-4-1. Yep, that sort of thing. No wing backs as we don't have any now. Yeah, that's the truth. I think consider that we don't have any wing backs available right now. Jackson needs some motivation. I don't know. He should go to his pastor or imam, whichever one that will help him. My money is on Broya. There's quality in this player that needs to be brought out. He needs a consistent gameplay. That's all. But do we have the luxury to do that? Let's find out. More attacking formation at home. I think we should. Against low blocks, lesser teams. Yep, that makes sense. Mark Smith is saying we are going to set some negative record on Saturday. They have had they have hardly scored away or won. Charity FC donation to the needy incoming. Oh, I like that. I seriously do like that. Yeah. I like that one, but I still think we're going to win this one. At the same time, I'm concerned. Charity FC is well and truly in existence. Hopefully, they prove us wrong tomorrow. A striker's main job is to be clinical. Creation of opportunity is nonsense talk. Score or sit down. Roger, you have another supporter there. I call him for Brea to start over Jackson. Let's be logical. When you cannot finish, Logan nice to see you once more in front of the empty net. That doesn't relate to what your position is. Doesn't matter whether you're a winger, a centre forward, attacking midfielder, or a central midfielder. You're just not good enough. It's as simple as that. If you cannot finish, it doesn't matter what position you play in. If the owners knew the extremely high expectations at this club, why collect a bunch of inexperienced, unproven kids? This is why I cannot get behind this bunch of BS. Here's the thing. Two things I want to let you know. The owners were directed to go you can say to they were directed to design the project the way they've designed it. Poch himself, if you want to talk about Poch, I'm sure he was well briefed. He knew what he was getting into. Even he himself has said it that he knew what he was getting into before accepting to become Chelsea's manager, in my opinion. Coach has a better tapping stats than the Motown legends. Just go away, man. I think that formation helps our strikers and also fits in a Gallagher and can play with two DMs then to cover back three. Yeah, it makes sense. That's when we play with back three, I wouldn't mind us playing with the two DMs. But still, even at that, the two DMs will be one being a sit and the other one with the hybrid approach of 8 and 6. That's the modern day of playing the two DMs right now. Wenger won games using youthful teams, especially in lower cup competitions. But let me remind you something. The change at Arsenal at the time were progressive. It wasn't like us, you could say, was done in a single window. Yeah, or actually, let me say 2 windows, just to the fact that we bought too many players in 2 windows. But yeah, Wenger's the changes they made at the time at Arsenal, not too many at the same time, if you get the point. And there you go. A lot of people message here. Jude, please like and subscribe to the channel at Chelsea FC Jingles. That's his YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He's been doing well, but let's support him. We're selfless. That's why we're growing as quickly as we are here. I really believe that on Saturday we are winning, and that's from Godwin Owenefo. Godwin, where are you from? If you're Nigeria, that sounds like a Benin name. Or yeah, Bayesa, you let me know. Coach, as you can hear, I've checked out. I am trying to keep myself amused, because if you don't laugh, you will cry. That's the best way. That's the best way. Complete the lineup. We'll get into that in a bit, Vic. Didn't watch the press conference. Any Nkunku and Lavia. Nkunku will be available. Nothing specific was said about Lavia, but I think he should be available. Maybe the manager don't want to risk starting him. So we go. I think this is correct. 2 6s. Yeah, you know who. Enzo Fernandez, as usual. And here we have Casado starts too. And I'd like to see Sugochukwu play consistently. To me, he's a good player, and I think he reads the game very well, which is important if you're going to play as a DM. I am from Delta State, so I got it correct. So thank you, brother. Welcome, enjoy. Enjoy yourself. Feel at home. Tell more people about Chelsea Perspective. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil. Roger, let's hear you 2 6s.
Yeah,
I know it's a difficult one, right?
Yeah. Exactly, you know who. So yeah, it's basically going to be those two, unless there's injuries. However, don't forget, there's also potentially how shall I put this, rotational purposes too. So you never know, he could surprise us and not start Enzo.
If he makes any sort of changes with for that 2 6s there, who do you think comes in for whom?
Depends who's available, Coach. I don't know who's available.
None.
You know,
we're not certain who's available. Let's go back to this again, because I'm quite sure if anybody isn't ready and was here, I think they take him off. Lavia says doubtful. Do I think he comes in and starts right now and starts over Moises Caicedo? I'd say no. And let's look at Chiku Doubtful too, even if it's ready, since it says doubtful, there's a chance. But we don't know. But go ahead with what you were saying. It's difficult to say, really.
Yeah, because of, is he fit enough to start a game? Who is?
Mhm.
I don't know, coach. But I'm trying to think who else could play in either of those positions.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he could put Palmer instead of Enzo, for instance, and play Madueke, for instance, or who knows? It all depends. To me, Palmer is the logical replacement for an Enzo that I've seen. But
Yep. We've talked about that, and I agree. Go ahead.
but other than that, I'm not sure who would replace Caicedo because yeah, I'm trying to think. Leslie's not available, is he?
Leslie says doubtful.
Yeah. Well, that could mean anything. So do you see what I'm saying? I would bet on those two starting, which means they're going to play 3 games in the space of 10 days, possibly, or a little bit less than that, which is
Hmm.
never a good thing when you think about it. But yeah, I mean, when you look at the games each week, you have a look at our bench, and it's very thin. It has been week in, week out. That tells you. This tells you how the team picks itself, as Mitchy would say, because he's got very little choices. You're missing basically another team. You're missing between 8 and 12 players. It's ridiculous. Potter's got his hands tied, and he has for most of the season.
Yeah, it's a redonkulous, really. It's because it's beyond
Yeah,
ridiculous. We get one player back, 2 goes out. Look at it, Sanchez and Cucurella now out. But go ahead with what you're saying, Roger.
yeah. I could have put it better myself. You know, uh, it's a dilemma. It's a huge dilemma. All you do is hear these pundits saying about we've spent so much money and we should be doing better, but they seldom ever mention that we've been depleted as such. But yet they'll mention other teams being depleted, but not us.
Hmm.
So it is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is indeed. And Constantine Dante said it would be nice to see a more attack information from Poch with a 3. Here's the thing. Let me say this. It's because probably you understand football well. A lot of people think whenever the manager plays a 3 at the back structure, it's a defensive formation. But they're not paying attention to the application. 3-2-4-1 can play Mudrik and Nkunku, Palmer, Sterling, and a striker. Yep. I think let's see what the manager does tomorrow. Benoit over Silva. Bedashile is an excellent defender. Chances are he starts tomorrow. I don't know. But we're trying to predict what the
Could
manager
be.
will do. Yeah. But for me, I think Silva plays. Yeah.
Yeah,
He did. He
probably
did.
because
Yep.
he had the last game off, right?
Yep. Did he miss the last one or
No, yeah, he didn't play against Everton. It
yeah.
was Disasi and Badiashile, if you recall.
Yep. So and for balance, I think it will be the Sassy and Silva. Both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what though? If they want to rest him yet again for Tuesday's game, then I wouldn't be surprised if Badiashile and Disasi start.
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it, but one never knows. It depends on the priority. Which game does Poch prioritize? Tomorrow's game or Tuesday's game? That's what it boils
Yeah.
down to, coach.
Yep, Sheffield United, Richard Moneymaker says Sheffield United are vying to win a back-to-back Premier League games for the first time since July 2020. You're scaring me by mentioning that. Keep players out on the wing. We witness the defensive ability versus Everton. Okay, and Mark Smith, nice to see you once more. I think I've said hello to you already. We do have Newcastle on Tuesday. A quick turnaround. Poch may play a wicked team against Sheffield United because we know he wants to win the cup. Will be a full strength. It will be. Yep, I think I agree with you. But I think this one also will be full strength because he doesn't want the fan base to turn against him or his job to all of a sudden be at stake. Keep Palmer on the wing. His defensive ability is not that great. We are down to bare bones on the bench. It will be a Keats or keep us on the bench. Yes, then I think Palmer he's actually done well well. He presses very well and has won the ball occasions close to the final third. On two occasions, he's helped us get goals from the balls. He's won. Yeah. But maybe tracking back is the language to use there. But if you, yeah, Chelsea have let in multiple goals in each of the previous 5 league matches. The last time they conceded twice or more in 6 successful top flight games was between December 1977 and February 1998. You know what? Rich money makers, I think, okay, your name now is our historian, our Chelsea historian. I like this sort of things that you're breaking up, and I think we can learn a lot from them. So, Rich Money Maker, from now on, people, is our historian. So let's celebrate that a bit. Appreciate it. Okay. Roger, I don't know whether you're enjoying that or you're just going, what is that?
It wakes me up.
Okay, Shaw Badiashile will start over this. I see. That's except if the manager isn't paying attention. We need a balance. Silva and the Sassi isn't balanced. No, it's not. That's because both we can say like for like, literally. We don't have aggression there. But with the Sassi, you have a bit of aggression, which you need. You need that mix, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe because I got spoiled when we had Rudiger, Silva, and Andreas Christensen. Whenever it's either of whenever Rudiger brings the balance, the other two are, you can say, exceptionally ball playing defenders, but they don't have that aggression. You need to mix it up a bit. Maybe that's why I've started seeing the defensive line differently ever since, in my opinion. Let's say the Blues have lost 22 of their 47 matches in all competitions in 2023. Wow. The most defeats they've suffered in a calendar year since 1993. And I can, you can say, I can debate with anybody why that is the case. I don't think it's the manager. I think it's because we have an inexperienced side, and yeah, kids will always be kids. You don't make a good DJ, coach. Sorry. No, do I tell you did I tell you I'm a DJ? No, I'm not. What does a brother? This is saying. What does a brother have to do to get a round of applause up in here? Say something nice. Don't say something that sounds like you're headed to hell. Then you get a good one. Thanks, coach. Much appreciated, brother. Honestly, you are our historian. Silva just hold onto the ball for too long. Houston, have you ever considered that Silva holds onto the ball for too long because he doesn't want to go sideways or backwards, because he's looking for a power forward pass? But our players, our midfielders and offensive players, aren't creating. They're not creating passing lanes for him. Have you paid attention to that? Yeah, but other defenders will get it and pass it quickly, but usually go sideways or backwards. Pay attention to that and be as objective as possible. You'll come to the conclusion that yeah, not really his fault that he takes too much time before he passes the ball. He wants to stand out in matches to reinstate his importance in the team to the fans. Wow. That's some, you can say, theory there. The blue you need to praise Gallagher or Jackson to get an applause, right? Silva came to decent long balls, but we need runners. Yep, that's a tapping actually from you. You have to create the passing lane. You have to make the move. He will see you. He delays. He dwells on the ball that much because there are no good passing lanes, and he's always reluctant to go sideways or backwards, which is the easier options to choose. But you get my point. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't consider that. Coach is an absolutely wonderful gentleman, and it's definitely not a tapping merchant. Okay, you earned it. This guy's killing me. Roger, I'm quite sure you know what he did there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Roger, you agree with this. So let's go with number 10, Gallagher stats. We know that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much we know that. Right here is the Palmer. We're not too sure whether Nkunku starts. I think if he starts, I'd be surprised. I'd love it and I'd be surprised. Here, oh my goodness, that's a difficult one. but I'd say let me just go. What my mind tells me, because Mudryk was one of our better players in that game against Everton, putting some good crosses, but nobody got at the end of those crosses. I'm gonna go Mudryk here, but Roger, let's start with Bobby, if you don't mind, and I'll come to you.
Not at
Bobby, big up
all.
to you, and thanks so much for finding the time to join us on the panel this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you, Bobby. Look at the players. We picked the goalkeeper, back 4-2-6-6, and then the three in behind the striker. That's the 10, left wing, right wing. Let's hear you. Any objections there?
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big
Hola,
up to you too,
Roger.
Bobby.
I
Hola,
don't know who
Bobby.
else we've got there. Is that IBZ? I can't really see.
No, the
Anyway.
other one is just the my deck to
Oh, right.
control.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
So maybe Joe. Yeah. Who've we got? What's the back? No Sanchez. So we've got Petrovic.
Mhm.
Um, who else? I would go
Two center back
Sassi.
Silva Disasi, right back Gusto, left back Cowell.
Hmm. I would actually go centre backs. I know Pochettino probably won't, but I would go centre backs. Badiashile, Desasi. I think they didn't do badly against um, Newcastle. They didn't do that badly. Newcastle, what am I saying? Um,
Everton.
Everton. It's just that the team is clumsy, the team is under rehearsed, and is still finding its feet. And I think that pairing needs to be rehearsed more in live game situations.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's what I would start with, and I'll put Silva at the bench. This
Okay, but
Repetition.
you did say that you're not sure Pochettino would do that because we're trying
Yeah.
to predict what
I'm
he'd
not
do.
sure he would do that, but
Mhm.
he's slowly beginning to understand that this infatuation with using Thiago Silva all the time is just not positive. You know, you are building a team. You are already going through teething problems. So why why exacerbate it? Why not just take advantage of the fact that look, you are still a process. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, there are going to be, indifferent days. This is what happens with a team like this that's not quite ready for the competition. So start your rehearsal now. That would be my thinking, but he could turn around and say, "Oh, we need to win games," but does that playing Silver game in game out, does that necessarily mean you're going to win games? I think not. But anyway, that aside, not necessarily down to Silver, but down to the fact that the players are still
Mhm.
developing, and still the team is still finding its feet. The team is still not quite there. That's why we're struggling in some games and not in others. So anyway, that's what I would do. But it's left to be seen what he would do. Gusto picks himself at right back, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
No Cucurella, so left back will have to be Colwill. Or people are saying, I heard someone, I believe, say Martson, but I don't think he'll go to Martson because of
No.
physicality. You know, Sheffield United are going to come with the age-old formula: be physical, be tall against Chelsea, and the Southern softies that they are, you probably get some joy. But one day that is going to blow up in somebody's face. As I told you in the last stream, there's a good hiding waiting for us to give someone coming soon. Will that be Sheffield United? I don't know. But I know that when these kids eventually find their rhythm, somebody's going to pay for all the days that they didn't have any rhythm. So that's the back. Petrovic, I'll be interested to see how he does in a full game, especially a physical game. He's got to be able to come out and collect the ball and all that. So that'll be interesting. Where have we got? Midfield? Have you called that out? What have you got in midfield? I can't see.
The usual culprits.
Caicedo, Enzo, and
G-Man.
uh, Gallagher.
Mhm.
Okay, I think he will do that. I think he'll do that, but I'm going to be a little bit different. We've got a physical team, and we've got Enzo needs to find a little bit more form. Now, this is a risk because don't get me wrong, I think Enzo is an excellent player. I think he's part of the rhythm. I think he's part of the rehearsals, and he's probably not a player you'd want to drop. At home, especially, we should be playing him. However, if it was me, I would do something a little bit different. Maybe at some point in the game, or maybe to start, and that is I will try Caicedo, Leslie, and Gallagher for that physicality. However, I know he will go Enzo, Gallagher, and Caicedo, which kind of makes more sense. And honestly, against Everton, they were not the problem. The attacking line, if we're at that stage, um, Nkunku, I don't know how fit he is. Who knows? He'll probably start from the bench. I think it will be sensible for him to start from the bench. Hopefully he can help us, and hopefully he can bang in some goals. I would start. What's his name? Brozier. We need our proper striker. That will relegate Jackson to the bench as well. There's no harm having a strong bench, so I would start Brozier. And I would go Modric on the left and Cole Palmer on the right, and have Sterling on the bench as well. That would be what I would do. And I don't think it would be too far off what Poch will do. That's it.
Second, I didn't know I was on mute. Sheffield United have considered 41 top flight goals this season, the second most of any Premier League teams. After 16 games, Barnsley considered 43 in 1997. 98 season. Thank you so much for that information right there. Chelsea historian, starting left wing Charlie. That may well be the case. Bobby, some 23. Constantine Dante wouldn't miss that. Silva out the club in 6 months. Yeah. If Bobby is backing me up, then my analysis is on point. It's a time to move on from Silva. Okay, good luck. If we can move on from him, I'd be happy. The Yorkshire side are winless in the last 21 Premier League matches that only McBurney has started since a 3-0 home win against Chelsea in July 2020. Wow, something there. Thank you so much for that. Okay, coach, you can remove that from the screen. I actually did see this coming before I removed that. I have to be honest with you. I did see that before I removed it. He really milked. Yeah, I had to. I milked it very well because finally somebody said something nice about me in the chat there. So just go away, the two of you. Gustavo Halma is the only Blades player to score an away goal this season. Kuchila did Sleater Jackson in there like we wouldn't notice maybe, but I think he starts because Brea started the last one. I think I'm sensing the manager is rotating a bit. That's what I think. It took Arsenal kids 2 decades to bank so many. We should be ready in about 2053. We still need maturity in the team, and who better than the oldest CB in the Premier League? That's how important Thiago Silva is. Yeah, I do agree with you. And one more history here. Sheffield United most recent win over the Blues was a 3-0 top flight victory at Bramall. Is that what you call it? Bramall Lane, is that what you call it? They said in July. Lane. Bramall Lane, okay, 2020, during Chris Wilder's first spell at the club. Coach, I got you. You're not a good brother, man. Just go away. So, Roger, I slid in Jackson there. I think some sense in that I think the manager is rotating the team. That's what I think. What do you think before we call it a day?
It's possible. It depends on Broyer's fitness. Maybe he's able to go to start again. Mm-hmm. I have no idea, but I would like to see him play, let's say, consistently 2 out of 3 games, every 2 out of 3 games, because they're so close together in December. Then after December, January, I'd like to see him, assuming we're playing once a week, I'd like to see him start a dozen games or so. I told you, unless obviously he displays an aptitude for missing, and is inept, then I would like to see him progress, he needs time. And let's see if he's given that opportunity. I'm not sure he will be, but I'd like to see it regardless, because currently, thus far this season, Jackson hasn't been good enough.
All right, thank you so much, guys. We've come to the natural end of the show, and I appreciate you all that found the time to join the show. Thank you, Roger, so much for being joining me on the panel, and Bobby, who also did. I've added Roger's information to the description section. Please go follow Roger on Twitter. Let's help him get a lot more followers on Twitter. Rumors have it all long fall through. I hope that's the case. From Bobby, does he think he will be we will beat his gun? His gun is not here. How did Hall loan to Newcastle fall through? I don't know. They don't have many left in the defense right now. Heston, maybe they feel like they need players in other departments on the pitch. I think it sound that quote from Eddie Howe sound like they're reluctant. They don't want him on a permanent. For him to have said he's not too sure whether they meet the criteria, which will mean that they have to sign him on a permanent. And a dozen straight games for Broya, definitely getting relegated. And for that, people, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Jesse, who was here briefly. And thank you, Constantine Dante. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, Rich Moneymaker. Great show from the panel, Coach. Great show. Great participation there. And thank you for all the history lessons you've brought to us. Chelsky, thank you so much. Much love to you, Richman, Tayo A, and the beautiful game. That brother, I love, but at the same time, I don't really like you. And everyone else, if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers, gentlemen.